course, on the bottom right, Miss Tiffany Gocher.
Yeah, we familiar with Tiff.
Everybody knows Tiffany. She's been on the show before. And
yeah,
yes,
really, Tiff? You've been on the show too many times, matter of fact.
Sorry.
And then,
matter of fact, you've been on the show so much people thought you was a co-host.
Right.
You know,
taking Lex's place.
Yeah.
And then another person who's no stranger to the show.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was about to say, Allison's been on the show so much. She's been our Canadian co-host.
Our neighbor to the north, Miss Allison Dorr.
I'm the official Canadian correspondent.
Like, I agree. I mean, I think that for her, being in the sports world, you think, oh, they're supposed to be tough. They're supposed to not listen to what the fans do, just go out and play and be tough. But it's hard when you already dealing with your own self-image, her being young. You already trying to figure out the world, and then you have all these other people, mostly adults, go home. You're no good. That's with anyone's psyche. And like I said, I deal with the same thing with depression and anxiety, and people always tell me, oh, you're okay. Well, no, I'm not. I just smile it through. But you don't know those days when I'm driving and I will just have an anxiety attack because the car drove just close to me, or it will just come along. And I learned how to deal with it so I don't have to tell anybody about it. But then
gotta let it out, man.
Every time I'm on the show, you guys dig up something where I go, oh God, I forgot I did that.
He got tricks up his sleeve, Allison. You got it.
Yeah, I see it. I should deactivate my YouTube channel.
I download all the videos too late now.
There's not a lot up there. Yeah, that was a bad day, and I feel like we're bad at we're good at talking about the bad times afterwards. Especially at least I am, and I was very, very lost in that moment and trying to pull myself out of it. But what's interesting, I had a lot of positive feedback from it, but there's a couple of negative reactions. And that's always interesting to me as well. And I think it's people who sort of aren't ready when you work on yourself, that's threatening to some people.
Oh, I've received a lot of benefits from therapy, but I also when with some similar stigmas in my family and community. And therapy, my experience of therapy when I was growing up was when something gets really bad, and you're immobilized from depression or something like that, then you go for a bit, you get fixed, then you're done, and then you go back to life. So it was sort of like that. It wasn't really spoken. And then if you needed therapy, it was like, oh, something must be really bad. And then later on, years later, as an adult, I had a spiritual teacher in my life tell me, equate therapy to going to the doctor, like any other, like anything else. Like if you broke your arm, you wouldn't just be like, oh, well, no, I'm fine. I'll just go. It's fine. You would go to the hospital, or if you needed a massage or a chiropractic adjustment or something like that, you'd go seek that out. And therapy is regular therapy, if possible, is really helpful and really useful. And, even stigmatized in our health insurance. I have a very basic Washington State health insurance plan that happened to cover it, but we kind of had to dig and call and look. And it wasn't right up front, here's your copay, go to the therapist. It was hidden in the back.
Him openly talking about how he was bullied, right? Him being a smaller man, Will being a bigger man. That could have brought back those images as a child.
Definitely could have triggered something.
Then Will Smith also added a part in his book. He talked about how he saw his mother being hit by his dad, and he felt like that moment right there where he didn't do anything affected him. Affected every decision he made in his life.
So in that moment,
now that moment could have came back to Will and made him react to that too.
Gotta protect my lady.
All those mental things are going on. We talking about mental health. You got to think about those things from a mental health perspective. Yeah. Now, discuss.
Like we always do about this time. I don't know.
Hey, Miss Jennifer, how you feel about the whole situation and the whole mental aspect about it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think you laid out a lot of wisdom and background there. So thank you. I think that's exactly what I've been thinking. And I've heard a lot of people say, wow, what, Chris Rock just told a joke and Will Smith did that. Like, that was like, what? That was such a big reaction. And my first thought was that was a reaction to the past.
That was more that vitriol don't come from that.
Yeah, and that's like a classic indicator right there when the response. I mean, I understand that was upsetting to his wife. And it's hard. Like, comedians have that like job to press that envelope, and sometimes we're like, whoa, because sometimes that envelope goes over someone's traumas, right? And that's a tough like career, I feel like, to be in sometimes, when that's your job, to push that envelope.
Yeah, we'll ask the comedian about that in a second.
Right. Yeah. That's why I want Allison to go last. She'll put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a lot of respect for it too. Like, it's like we need society to keep having their envelopes pressed, those barriers pressed, But wow, yeah, I just saw trauma, and I had a lot of compassion all around, honestly.
Right. Tiffany?
No, I agree with Jennifer. You can see the trauma in each one. Like, Chris Rock was like, what the hell went on? Like, what happened? It was just a simple joke. And then Will just exploding, but that was behind something else. Yeah. Because something small is not going to make you blow up that big. That's just like you have those people who step on my gym shoes and they shoot you. It's something bigger than you stepping on my gym shoe. So it's just
stepping on my sneaker.
Right. But, so yeah, but I'm just interested to hear what Allison has to say for being a comedian, because it has to be hard to be able to tell a joke and be funny, but not hurt people's feelings, but still lighten up the room. Because jokes are supposed to bring us all together and not tear us apart. Because I think that's the biggest thing that we're all missing is laughter. Because everybody is so angry, especially coming out of COVID. If you I'm pretty sure we all drive and you see people just cuss you out, and it's just a simple of, dude, I'm just trying to get over, or I'm sorry, I didn't see your blinker, but it's so much road rage. So much road rage, or just so much anger. Everyone has anger.
Right. Yeah. I just think the world need to smoke a blunt, but that's just me.
Well, and get some ashwagandha.
Miss Dora, ready for your bow?
So I think from the comedian's perspective, look, there are some comedians who look, Chris Rock is somewhat known for making fun of people, and there's always that opportunity for kind of roasting in award show situations.
Right.
And what I keep telling people about this is it wasn't about that joke. First of all, I'll say this too. Comics who are, you know, bending over backwards to defend Chris Rock, and Chris Rock was, you know, obviously the victim in many senses, but let's all be real, it was not even a good joke. So everyone's like, he's making a joke. He made a G.I. Jane joke. That movie came out in 1997. Kids don't even know what he was talking about. So it's not, because comics love to say, we, you know, yeah, we're speaking truth to power. We're pushing the envelope. That was not an envelope pushing joke. It was lazy. My opinion on the joke aside, though, he has a history of going after Jada Pinkett Smith, and not only in award shows, but in his stand-up. And I think this has been a bone of contention between them for a long time. And I also think, you know, many people like you, Mar, like bring up the fact, like, at first he was laughing. But here's the thing. Will Smith has also conditioned himself when someone says something that hurts him to laugh it off.
Yeah.
And then in that moment, I think, yeah, he starts laughing, and then it kind of hits different. It took a minute, and then it hit different. And then Jada was obviously upset. And I don't think Jada wanted him to do that. I think a lot of people are weirdly blaming Jada and being like, oh, his wife made him do it. And it's like, I think she rolled her eyes and indicated like, well, not my favorite joke. But I think Will has been carrying a lot of stuff. I think they have been so honest about their relationship, and it is amazing, but they have been taken through the ringer over it, and they have been mocked and made fun of and all that kind of stuff. And I think, yeah, in that moment, I think once it really hit Will of like, this is another joke about my wife in a public forum by this guy on top of everything else I've been dealing with. Yeah, I think it just, he kind of lost it in that moment. I don't think
cup runneth over. Like, enough was enough.
Yes. And I don't think it's right. I think it was a real bad move. But I think, yeah, we kind of have to look at the backstory, because I hear so many people being like, the joke wasn't a big deal. Yeah, it's not about this joke. Of course it wasn't a big deal. It's a terrible, stupid joke. Also, FYI, G.I. Jane is an amazing movie, and they should make a sequel, and Jada should star in it. I will buy those tickets in advance. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm seeing so much what's that word? You know, with an hypocrisy. Thank you.
Hypocrisy. There you go.
About it. And so, and especially comedians who I know for sure have punched people in the face. Are going, how dare Will Smith and you who acts like that? And I'm like, bitch, you've acted worse so many times. And the other thing is comedians who are like, well, now it's open season on comedians. It was open season on comedians before this.
A long time ago. Yeah.
So many comedians have stories of audience members wanting to fight them or trying to get up on stage. Or whatever it is. And so hopefully this does not encourage it, but acting like Will Smith opened a door that wasn't already wide open is crazy. So I think Will Smith was wrong. I think we all need to have more empathy on this situation. And I think people need to stop acting like Will Smith committed a terrorist attack. Because he didn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
I think it was just bad judgment on handling that way.
Absolutely. And Chris Rock handled it like a huge professional, because Chris Rock has been on the road. It's not the first time Chris Rock has been challenged over a joke.
Right.
Yeah. Won't be
the
last.
He knows what he's doing, and he's seeing the big picture, and he's like, okay, I'm just not going to react to this. Because, and look, after it happened, his tour sold out. He added extra shows. Everybody, and he said nothing since, and everybody is he's the winner. He won. He won the situation.
Allison, he's gonna have a lot to say when it comes to this tour.
No, he didn't.
He hasn't said anything yet. He's been on stage, and
he didn't say anything.
And people in the audience started booing Will, and he just said, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
And then kept doing his jokes. So I think at some point he will have commentary, but I also think I have to assume as a comedian, and maybe I'm wrong, I can't read his mind. I've never been a comic on his level. But as a comic, I feel like on some level, Chris Rock knows, oh, I've been making jokes about this woman for a long time. And I hit their limit.
Yeah.
I hit their limit. Because Chris Rock is not 100% innocent in this, in just that this is someone he has gone after for years. And
he's just a victim in the physical sense.
He's a victim in the physical sense. And in the larger sense, like, yes, people are going to make the host's job is, or whoever's presenting, especially if you're a comedian, you're going to take jabs at people in the audience because they're famous people and this is the Oscars and you're all just sitting in your opulence. And so, yeah, that's what they do. And so he should have been safe to make that joke. And so in many ways, yes, I would say 99% victim, 1% ownership of the fact that he's like, this is one of my favorite targets.
Well, do you think that's the reason why he had such what you call like a softball joke against her, is because he knows that, hey, I've been talking about her, but they're in the front, so rather me pulling somebody that's all the way in the back, they're in the front. Let me just do a softball joke that probably
that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. And I think I mean, maybe. Although, again, here's the thing. It's not a good joke. So to me, it's almost like
you stressed that one.
Yeah, I'm really going strong on that.
No, terrible joke. Try it again, bud.
Women have been bald in so many movies since 1997. That was your only reference? Okay.
We get it, Allison. We critique food all the time, so we get it because we cook. So we like.
There's I love Chris Rock, like you know, but I also am not like. There's this thing comedians like to do where they really put other comics up on a pedestal, and I'm like, let's be honest, being a comedian, we're all degenerate nightmares. Like, there's no who is this hero you're worshiping? We all know backstage we're all trash. So just don't pretend. But I think there's plenty of people in the front row, and I kind of think with a joke like that, I'm like, he just wanted to say something to her.
Okay.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. This is all conjecture on my part, but like yeah, I don't know. I feel like the rumor is that Will Smith has previously talked to Chris Rock about the jokes about Jada.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But if it is, and then it's one more joke, I could also see that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
True.
And yeah, it was definitely an overreaction for that joke because whatever. Yeah, she looks great, and G.I. Jane is a boss.
So let's transition to the healing part of our mental.
That's right. That's the part that I love to talk about. Yeah.
So we have Tiffany and Jennifer. We want them to kind of talk about each of their fields and how it can help with mental health. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Okay, so I'm a recent graduate from CCI, which is the Cannabis Institute. Did I say it right? Yeah. Okay.
They got schools for cannabis?
The
now?
Cannabis Coaching Institute.
Yeah.
And Jennifer as well. I'm not sure if you've graduated. Oh, she did.
Yes.
I just sent her congratulations. So we both are graduates. And what I can say with cannabis is that using a CBD, a high CBD, will be better for like your anxiety and depression. I use it for myself every day. I've already showed my tincture a couple of times, so you know I'm proud of it. And I also
hold on, Tiffany. For people who might not know, what is a tincture?
So, so I'm gonna get very cursed out by the herbalist here. Mine is an oil base, which they say it's an infusion. Herbalists don't like you to say oil base is a tincture. It's a tincture to me. So usually a tincture
so
is
stubborn.
Exactly. And we represent the G. But so a
everybody.
tincture,
right,
it will be an alcohol base, which I am making one now.
Okay.
I'm in the process of making one now. But So I use that every day. The one that I keep showing is actually my nighttime, and this is where I usually do my meditation and everything in this office. And then I
In
have
my
a
room.
40.
In my room.
Yes, it's my office right now, part time. So this is an oil base, and I'll show you everything that you have to use. You take your flour, you infuse it with oil. You take your flour, you decarb it, then you infuse it with oil, and then you come out with this. I think that for a regimen, you do need to use more CBD than you do THC. THC does help though, and CBD is as well will help you. Does that
Okay.
answer your question?
Yes. Jennifer, how does psilocybin help?
Psilocybin is what we know of as magic mushrooms.
We're trying to get that.
Mushrooms. Yeah. I know some people don't, just like herbalists don't like the oil, being called tincture. Some people in this field are like, can we get away from the term magic mushroom? But that's what a lot of people know.
Mm-hmm.
And they fit inside of a larger category that I would put cannabis in as well, called entheogen, which was coined in the 70s. And it means finding the divine within. And that's what a lot of these medicines actually do. They in this world of heavy pharmaceutical use and the pharmaceuticals, we haven't figured out how to reproduce Mother Nature, no matter how much we've tried. And pharmaceuticals kind of work by blocking and stopping things and making, more available, and certain chemicals like serotonin or dopamine more available in the brain and the nervous system by blocking certain channels.
It's because you're a threat to their pockets.
Right.
Yeah.
Big pharma don't like people who threaten their pockets. Let's call it what it is.
Pockets and like personal power too. These medicines made illegal by a government that was scared of its people waking up. Quite honestly, and because these medicines bring us back to ourselves, and that's where pharmaceuticals kind of mute us. They tend to, and I say that, but also knowing and want to acknowledge that I've had a lot of friends whose lives have been saved by pharmaceuticals. And but I don't think we were meant to live on them long term. And I also believe these medicines like cannabis and psilocybin and a lot of others that have grown naturally around the world forever, millions of years, some of them, are the people's medicine. And to deny access to them by the people, or for the people, is in sake of and name of profit for the pharmaceutical companies, is a problem. And we are slowly unwinding that one. We are slowly unwinding. But psilocybin and ayahuasca, peyote, which we were talking about earlier, San Pedro cactus, African iboga, on and on and on. These are medicines of the people that we as human beings have evolved alongside with. And they, rather than block and stop and mute us, they actually wake us up. They go right. They have this tendency, this ability to go right through all the layers of trauma that we surround, all the calluses, all the parts of us that are wounded, that get in the way of life, and protect us and help us survive as well. But these medicines right through. They have this ability to cut right through and get right to the true self, that light within, which is what's so beautiful. That's why that term entheogen was coined, the finding the divine within. And once you do that, you actually just start healing automatically. And definitely helps to work with someone who knows this medicine, because working with any of these medicines on your own can actually cause big experiences that can be further traumatizing if you're not getting proper guidance. But they're the potential of them for like coming back into alignment with our true selves is like empowering and healing from the inside out, which
let me ask you this. I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna cut you off.
All right. Sorry.
What are some of the misconceptions for each of you you guys what y'all deal with? Like, I know sometimes when you talk about cannabis, everybody's go to, well, smoke a blunt, I'm good. But you know, there's more to it than just rolling a blunt up.
Sir, that's hood therapy. That's hood therapy.
You know.
Well, I think with the part of cannabis, and I wanted to add that in, is that, you know, cannabis was actually used as a medicine in the early starts. And then they figured out in the 1930s that, hey, we need to start making money on this. And so that's why it became a Schedule I drug. And they ripped it from the medical journeys. And I was in this group, and this lady showed her grandfather his medical papers of how that's what he used. He used cannabis for so many things and disorders that he prescribed in his practice. So I think that for us, just going ahead and going back to what I was saying, that self-medicating, you need to learn what's good for you. Like for me, I have fibromyalgia. Just going and smoking a blunt may be detrimental to me, but if I shouldn't say smoke the whole blunt would be more detrimental to me versus just taking 2 puffs. So you have to find that balance for you. And you'll hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, I tried CBD or I tried THC and it didn't work. Well, what did you do? Oh, well, you know what? I bought this CBD from Whole Foods. Well, hell, that's the problem right there. You need to get good quality flour for one, or good quality products, and then you move from there. But you definitely need to find what works for you and what your sweet spot is, because me taking my tincture and I might only just take just 1 drop, where Allison might need 3 drops, you know, or vice versa.
That sounds about right for Allison.
I don't know. Allison looked like a 5-hitter dog.
You know, or Lamar, the whole bottle, you know.
Yeah.
But
I need the whole thing.
Right.
Spot and not just overdoing it and over medicating yourself
like
on
I did.
Cannabis.
The right dosage, pretty much.
Yeah, just trying to find your right doses. And it's good, like Jennifer said, to find a guide, which we can help you with. But just trying to find that guide to help, because cannabis helps with so many things. It does help with your mental health and your anxiety. It does help you with pain. It does help you with digestion. That a lot of people didn't know that. It helps with gut health. It helps with.
I got one for hair growth.
Actually, yes, I made some for
somebody
my hair,
ain't get
because as
some
you
of
can see, because of fibro, I have psoriasis. Jesus, I couldn't get that out. So I'm missing hair, just like Miss Jada, but I'm still holding on to it. But I made a something with cannabis to kind of help it grow, because it's not as bald. You see my little hair trying to grow in.
Yeah, because you know I got little patches in my beard. I want to patch it up.
Yeah, so you just put a little, and I don't want to make it seem like it's just cannabis is just like that miracle drug.
Right.
It is.
No. For society, it's been a miracle drug, because if I ain't on it, it's a miracle I ain't killed nobody. So it is a miracle drug.
Exactly.
Lamar gonna be in a beard. I mean, Robert, weed on his beard.
I know. I'm about to go home, put the flower, rub it in my head, you know, see if I can.
It's a little bit more to it, but
I know. I figured.
Jennifer, what about you? What misconceptions you hear about magic mushrooms?
Yeah, like misconceptions that we said. I mean, just the fact that they were just the fact that they were made illegal for reasons that had nothing to do with science, but actually had everything to do with suppression and fear and power grab by the government. Then, you know, you as soon as you make something illegal, you know, I mean, that gets scary for people, right? It's like, well, what am I doing? What do you know, that's wrong. What's going to happen to me? Of course, you know, and what, you know, maybe it really is bad, you know, in terms like reefer madness were created at that time. They were just fabricated, and psilocybin has its own version. Like, you're going to take that you know, and you're going to go insane and you'll never come back, you know?
Right.
These things, they were just literally stories that were fabricated to scare people away from their own medicine and connection to their own power.
Also, it's really fun to get high and watch the movie Reefer Madness because it's so insane. It's so insane, and you will laugh so hard.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that movie is nuts. It was like a propaganda film to scare kids away from smoking weed, but it's insane. Like it's whoever made it is unhinged.
Yeah,
and
yeah, the man who created the story that his daughter jumped out of a window after doing LSD, like that was fabricated. And she did kill herself, but she also had major mental health issues, and it wasn't right after she took LSD. And, you know, but that story for LSD has stayed around forever, you know, that since people are like, oh my God, I'm going to take LSD. I'm going to jump out of a window, you know, it's like, it's not true. It's not true.
Listen, that was one of my stigmas of where I was afraid of. I had a huge stigma. My brother will tell you about me using cannabis. I didn't want anyone to know. I knew it was good, and I wanted everyone close to me. Like, listen, let me tell you something.
Right.
But I didn't want to tell the world because
I ain't never heard you that quiet, Tim.
Exactly. Listen, even when I got my medical license, I heard so many people say how they felt empowered. Me, I felt disempowered. I felt like the police was going to run my license plate and they're going to pull me over and just say, hey, where's the shit? Where's the product? So I had to really like...
You're a drug dealer, ain't you?
Right. I really thought that.
Right.
And that was just a couple of months ago, to be honest with you. But I had to push past it and say, no, this is what we need to be talking about because it can help you. It will help you. But you just have to do it in intentional use instead of just trying to just use it just because I want to get high for the sake of getting high. Yeah. And I think the same thing with the magic mushrooms as well.
Go ahead,
Allison. What's been your coping mechanisms to deal with mental health?
So, I mean, my two major ones are therapy and pharmaceuticals. I'm one of those people who pills saved my life. Also, being an addict in recovery, like I do supplement with CBD and sometimes microdose, but I can't have the THC because I love it too much, and it will ruin my life.
Right,
but. I just wanted to say, like, I think, there's a fine line, especially when it comes to THC, between using it to augment your, resistance to anxiety and stuff like that, and then self-medicating.
Right.
Because, before I went to rehab, like, I was 1000% self-medicating and was just, I was never not high. Because I could not deal with the world. And so I think it's like that there's a bit of a fine line and you can I mean people can smoke weed a lot and not necessarily be self-medicating. So it is about being really honest with yourself. I think about where you're at. And then I also think when it comes to like if you are having more severe anxiety and depressive issues, it's probably not going to be enough to just sort of like fortify your mind with psilocybin or cannabis. I really feel that talk therapy is such an important part of that puzzle. And I understand why people want to try to bypass it. But unfortunately, like if you are really struggling, you can't run from things. Eventually they catch up with you and you got to dig in on them.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. You have to find that balance, and cannabis or whatever drug, food is not going to do it alone.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Like we always forget about that because food is a drug and can't be a drug for so long.
That's always been mine.
you have to find, like you said, find that balance, and medication or however you medicate can't be just that alone.
Yeah.
You have to find that balance in both. Because even like with me with pain, I don't just do a CBD or I don't just do THC. Like I have a whole regimen. Of things that I do with versus diet. Diet is always good. Diet and exercise.
Diet plays a big part too.
Microdosing. So and when we say diet, we don't mean like keto. We mean actually using whole foods.
Yes.
Not preservatives. And
right.
Yeah, but they make it so damn expensive. Damn.
You know what? That's not
yes and no.
true.
Yeah.
I'll say, go ahead, Allison.
Oh no, I was just saying yes to what Tiffany was saying. That's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, eating vegetables is like, every diet sort of agrees on that, right?
Right.
And pretty much any form of vegetables, like obviously fresh produce is the best, but like frozen's not that far off. And is not necessarily any more expensive. Like junk food goes on sale more, but there's kind of ways around it. And it's also like an investment in yourself, because we'll be like, I don't want to spend $100 on groceries, but then it's like, yeah, well, I'll spend $100 on weed, or I'll go to the bar and spend $100, or and it's kind of like an investment.
You got a good point right there.
You know, it's like an investment in yourself. And like, obviously I'm not speaking to people who are literally, going to the food bank. Like yes, money is a different issue, but for most of us, we're more comfortable spending that money somewhere else. Whereas it's like, this is going to benefit every area of your life. Just eat some goddamn vegetables,
Exactly.
Words of wisdom from Miss Allison Dorr.
Eat your vegetables today.
Exactly. And you don't have to take out junk food. I always say, I just like to use the term crowding out. So instead of having it 7 days a week, maybe 6, or do 7 and not all 3 meals. Maybe just do 2 meals with the junk food and 1 meal with just nothing but vegetables. So it's ways to incorporate it in your diet.
Right.
But Tiffany, I love you. We're on the same page. I always tell people, eat whatever you want. Just start adding more vegetables. You know what I mean? If you eat no vegetables, okay, next week, every day, eat 1. And then eat whatever else you're going to eat. And then just start trying to eat as many vegetables as you can. And eventually your body starts changing and you start going, I actually want a big salad. Oh, I'm actually only going to eat half that pizza, because the idea of now of eating a whole pizza, I can't handle it.
Right, exactly. Or it doesn't even taste right.
Well, I mean, the pizza sauce is made out of tomatoes. That don't count for vegetables.
Oh my God, you sound like the U.S. food guy. Lamar, they got to you.
I'm sorry, Allison. I'm sorry, honey.
But this has been a very informative and fun show. I really enjoy hearing from everybody. Lamar, you got any closing comments before we get ready to sign off?
I mean, just find your peace, find your happiness in any kind of way that you can find it, and if you feel like you're at that point that you can't find your peace, hopefully you can find the right avenue to at least get you back on the path to find your peace and happiness. So, I'm a very positive, good ambiance kind of person. So,
only when he's high.
Well, no, not when I'm just high.
Oh, when he gets high, well, he can spit out some words. You be looking
I do be feeling real Aristotle like when I'm high.
Like,
I can't even lie, but
he be doing a sports show. He be saying some words. I be like,
hey, I be tricking myself. I'm like, damn, did I just say
one
that
day
right?
he came with the glasses on, and he really started. I had to sit back like.
Listen, what kind of strain is that? I just
like,
see, that's the thing, Tiff. I'm not a person that cares about a name or the strand. I just want to know, is it going to, give me the munchies? Make me feel good, and my use
of. You to call me, because we need to do intentional use here.
Yeah, but because because literally, my use of marijuana is literally because I've been in this food industry for so long, so I'm used to. Working all day, and I'm trying to come home, decompress, and actually take my ass to sleep, because if I don't, I'm up like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So so I need something to like turn my brain off. And and I've always found that marijuana has like been one of the easiest things to just kind of turn my brain off, so I can actually, you know, reset like a normal human being and go to sleep at a reasonable time like a human being. You know, because if I like literally, there's times when I don't have a supply and I'm up 4 or 5 in the morning because my mind is racing. And I, so far, marijuana has been the only thing I found that can, you know, in a healthy way, I guess, kind of shut that brain down. Because I tried melatonin, but
I don't do nothing.
my body got used to it.
Good for you.
Melatonin make me sleep and I'm back up again.
Yeah,
because
I
our
go to
body
sleep.
already produces melatonin.
Yeah. I know it
Right.
produces it, and so your level goes and start messing. Yeah.
So, PSA.
Oh no,
don't use
no worries, Tiff. I did that melatonin trick 5 years ago. I ain't tried it again, so no worries.
Okay.
Miss Allison, any last words from you?
Okay, speaking on anxiety, I've been having a lot of anxiety over talking about the slap, and I hate talking about it. I feel like I said too much and whatever. And I also want to be clear, guys. I support Chris Rock. I just feel bad. I feel like there's a lot more going on here, and we watched someone have a little mini breakdown. And yeah, I had a really great time, but I also have anxiety that I talk too much. I love all of you.
We feel you're talking too much into the show.
Yeah.
So you good.
Okay.
You good.
Okay.
But it was a lovely opportunity, and I really like talking with all of you.
We enjoyed you. Miss Jen.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think what Allison just said was brilliant. And I wanted to speak to that really quickly, that if anyone, you know, watching or listening to this show felt particular heightened levels of anxiety or upset, I want to reach out and offer a little resource to take a beat, you know, sit back or get up and walk around, take a few deep breaths, maybe look around the room that you're in, name a few things that feel safe around you, and know that you are safe. And that being in your body is a beautiful thing. You have a beautiful, wise, amazing body that has taken care of you in your life. And that's a good thing. And I love the name of this podcast. I often wonder, I love that because I feel like these medicines too, you're welcome, that I feel like these conversations and these medicines are about getting curious and wondering about things. And I think if you start there, you're already several steps on your way. So thank you.
And my wonderful, beautiful sister, what you got to say?
After all the tearing down, he builds me up.
That's our relationship. Up and down, up and down.
And now it shows why I'm in therapy. No, I thank you guys.
It shows why he needs more.
Why he needs to go. Yes, exactly.
No, he needs more. Like they need to dig under the surface with this man.
Can she finish?
Exactly. No, anytime he's talking about you, it's okay. I thank you guys for allowing me to come and speak. It's nice meeting my new sister Allison and meeting you, Jennifer.
It ain't your first time meeting your new sister. You didn't met your sister from another mister a long time ago. And
no, we've never met.
So look, I got fibro, so you can trick me. My kids trick me all the time.
They've been on the show together.
I don't think so. I thought they did. I think they did. But that when we did the Halloween show, she wasn't on that one.
The Thanksgiving show.
No, she called in. Allison called in. She wasn't physically.
I was on the same show together. I swear. I know I ain't high. I know I ain't that high right now.
Okay, the point is we're best friends now, and it's us against you.
And once the borders open, we're coming to see each other.
Oh yeah, we definitely coming.
Oh yeah.
I get my passport
so I can have my chocolates.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm a passport baby now.
I gotta get mine.
I'm in there.
Gotta get mine.
But I do want to say, kind of speak to what Jennifer said with people who's dealing with anxiety. Yes, CBD will help. Yes, cannabis will help, but you have to work on yourself first.
That's right.
And we incorporate CBD and THC. I always speak with your doctor for that, but it's a whole thing. It's not just one thing. So we can't just use CBD or THC and get high and then expect for us to be healed. wanting you to know that you're not alone, and we all on this panel talked about what we are experiencing with our mental health. So this has been going around forever, and everyone deals with it one part of their lives. I also want to plug in, I'm having a show on Clubhouse, so please, April 9th.
Hey, plug away
At 12 o'clock. We will touch on a little bit of cannabis, but we also touching on just dealing with fibromyalgia and how you can live a normal life.
Nice,
So that
nice.
with that, I just say thank you.
Nice.
And look me up at
Miss Jen.
Miss,
go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Tiff. Go ahead and finish plugging.
What'd you say it's called,
plugging the
Tiffany?
website.
Fibro. Goodness, y'all done messed me up. FibroWomenWarriors.com. That's my website, or you can email me at TiffanyG@fibrowomen.com.
Nice. Miss Jennifer, any information that you would like to plug for the audience to reach you if they need help?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always willing to have a conversation with anyone about this topic. And my website is Gaiantheos. It's a combination of Gaia, like the spiritual part of Mother Earth, and entheogen. So it's Gaiantheos, GAIAENTHEOS.com. Gaiantheos.com.
All right.
Nice. And Miss Allison Dorr, of course. Last
plug your many things you doing.
Plug all the many things that you were doing, Miss Lady.
You can follow or find me on Twitter at Allison Dorr or Instagram at Allison.Dorr. And yeah, I also love having these conversations, and I'm open to that. And then you can also follow my record label at Howl_Roar. It's Howl and Roar Records. And then yeah, you can be like Jermel and listen to my show The Breakdown on Sirius XM channel 167, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern.
Nice. Again, thank you to all these wonderful women who are just giving us all kind of great information and you know, and things to think about as well. Because you know, I didn't look at that Chris Rock situation kind of like Allison did. That kind of got me thinking about some certain things in different ways. So I'm like, you know, you never know when you know, a little light bulb goes off and you know, back of the cerebellum. So
I'm glad you learned, sir. I'm glad.
Amen.
Well, we appreciate y'all.
Never cease to exist.
We gotta bring y'all back again. But Allison, you know, you got an open invitation.
Oh, thank you. I always love talking to you guys, and I always meet the best people on your show. And I also think we're having conversations that are difficult but necessary, and you guys make it like a really open and safe place. Like we can disagree, we can talk about these things, and that's so hugely important. And I just want to give you guys permission to talk about your feelings and have a cry. Okay, you're allowed. Boys are allowed to cry.
Yeah.
And tell Cassandra we got to get her on the show.
Yes,
more often.
We got to bring her.
We only done her. We only had her on the show one time.
Yeah, but that was with Allison. We got to just bring her on.
Bring her on by herself.
Yes. Yeah. Cassandra's the co-host of my radio show for people who don't know, but she should be a star in her own right. So
right. So we appreciate y'all. And my last words are just, you know, Lamar and I love to joke and have fun, but when it comes to your mental health, seek help.
Importante.
You know what? Right. Thank you. Whatever whatever that help may be, if you need to get help using cannabis, look for a cannabis coach, or the long title that Jen has.
You know what she does.
You know, and look for professional help. You know, counseling. Talk to a psychiatrist, psychologist, someone that can help you through your issues. You know, we lose a lot of people through suicide all the time. Yeah. And you know, if you just
we want to see those numbers go down.
Right. If you just take the time to talk to someone, you know, a lot of times talking help alleviate some of your stress, some of your issues. That's why I love this podcast. This is my therapy. You know, I get a chance to talk out issues that I have. And, you know, and it's fun doing it with Lamar because we like to laugh and joke and stuff. And even through that, that's my therapy. So you know, one thing I want to do with this series is to stress, get help for your mental health.
Yes.
Well, that's it, ladies. We thank y'all for coming. You have a great rest of the afternoon.
Yes. Thank you again, ladies.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure.
All right, Lamar. So,
oh no, I'm just.
Should I get on the drums?
No, don't worry about me. You know, just no, the great show.
Great show.
3 phenomenal women that drop some knowledge.
Oh man, it was great. You know, one of the things that I loved about speaking to them was like you got a lot of different information from different perspectives, from talking about the psilocybin to the cannabis, even Allison talking about the things she dealt with, and the openness that she had. And then you saying the things you said. And I think those coming together is what made it a great conversation.
Oh yeah.
We hope that you guys learned something from this,
and be nice to each other, y'all. I think that'll kind of help
bring it down.
Help bring some of the mental issues down, and a little bit more kinder to each other out there.
And there's something that you heard, and you want to speak about. I'm not a professional. Lamar's not a professional, but I don't mind talking about it.
I'm a professional weed smoker. That's about it.
Drop a comment. And if I can find someone that can help you, I will. Because this is more important for us to get.
That's how I keep my mental right.
Viewership and subscribers.
I know.
It's one of the things we try to do, but that's not the most important thing with this series. The most important thing in this series is to get people to get out and get help. Men,
help. But even to piggyback on that. Start asking questions about your own mental health.
Right. Self-actualization.
It's okay to ask questions. And then, I know we got ready to end the show. I know. It's because we getting rabbit holes all the time.
Here's the thing I was thinking about. But think about this.
We open our mouth and then we jump right into a rabbit hole. I know. We do it all the time.
I thought about this too before we was doing the show. I didn't bring it up in the show.
Yeah.
But the idea of capital punishment, especially in our community, we got whippings with everything. Extension cord. I had shoes thrown at me.
You too?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Frying pans.
Okay, my mama ain't go that far. She was it cast iron?
Man, look, I'm so traumatized.
You didn't even care to ask. You're like, gotta go.
Broomsticks to the back.
Yeah, I done got the broomstick.
And then I was telling somebody yesterday, I went to Catholic school for my preschool.
Yeah,
first
but
grade.
It's weird because
they should take that yardstick and
it's weird because I'll say this: the ass whoopings, although I say 90% of them I did deserve, kept me out of prison because I was.
But did it? But here's what.
I ain't been to prison yet.
Here's what I want to say. Don't get me wrong. I carried that same thing over to my children, so I'm not here saying I'm bigger than giving whoopings. I'm not saying, but I think that
we grew up in a different time and discipline.
I think that, and I'm gonna use the word punishment for lack of better words. I think that when you are punishing your kids, it has to be
justified,
not justified, but to each kid,
reasonable
to each kid. Like one kid, if you take something away from them, that may help with them understanding or correcting that issue. Putting them in their room might help. Another kid,
my dad wouldn't even care what you talking about now.
Well, that's true.
He just come in and just start whooping everybody ass. That's how everybody did it.
Man, when I was coming up, the neighbor gave you whoopings,
bruh. I did too. I got neighbors by the whoopings because I got whoopings by the neighbors because it was that extension.
Yeah. Hey boy, go there and tear that switch off that tree.
Well, no, it was an extension of our parents.
Right.
It was. Because we still grew up in that part where it was that it takes a village kind of mindset.
And I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But I guess my issue with that is that the village needs better information to help raise the children.
Tactics.
Better information, better tactics to help raise the kids.
Okay. That's fair.
I still believe in taking a village.
Yeah.
I still think that's one of the issues, especially in our community.
Yeah.
The village is scattered.
Not only is it
you know,
scattering,
or like grandma is not old enough to be wise yet, because you know they have kids at a young age.
They all in the club.
You know, they're all in the club together and stuff like that. Oh man, I just seen it at IG with grandmas out there twerking. I'm like, come on, come on, Nana. Is that Nana booty we see?
I can't even cap, dog. I seen a couple of cougars on Instagram. I'm like, suck it now. Let me see what that 401k hitting for.
What that ARP do?
What that 401k hitting for?
I ain't no too proud to look at gray hair. But anyway, I'm gonna finish this thing. We're gonna shut it down. But for real though, that's my thing. I think that we need to like start looking towards getting our mental together as a collective too, and as individuals. Yeah. And I think like going back to that village thing, if everybody in the village is working on their mental, when they are disciplining or trying to correct an issue, you know, they correct it with the right amount of information and the right amount of I don't want to say force, because
the right tactic,
the right tactics,
and the right plan,
right,
of discipline,
right.
Because I agree with you. You can't just, you know, even know how we were disciplined. You know, at some point you got to evolve your type of discipline and how you do it, and how, because you know people receive disciplines different types of ways, so you can't just keep it all across the board. And you know, me as a parent, you know, I've come to learn that too, especially dealing with my oldest is autistic, so I can't discipline her the same way as my 4-year-old, as much as I try to, you know. But I totally get what you're saying. But no, let's get up out of here, y'all. Great show tonight. Great show today.
Great show. We enjoyed everybody, the conversation, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
Hit the like button, share, subscribe,
hit that bell,
all that. Ding dong. And don't forget, you know, if you are listening to the show and you are in Germany, because I know that Germany is our second largest audience.
Yeah.
You know, help us grow in Germany. If you're listening, tell a friend in Germany.
Tell a friend.
If you're in Frankfurt, tell somebody in Hamburg.
Yeah.
You know, this kept us only 2 cities.
Tell a friend in Berlin.
Yeah, that too.
You should know at least Berlin.
I forgot about Berlin. East and it's no longer East and West. It's just Berlin.
It's Berlin, bro.
So the walls is gone.
That wall been gone a long time ago.
Right. So just just help us build our audience in Germany. I think we got 10% in the UK. Help us grow across the UK. You know, we want to be international. And if it's something that you heard that helped you, leave a comment. Let us know. Anything you want to talk about, we're always open to leave a comment, and we'll try to have that discussion. All right, man. Let's get up out of here.
All right, it's been real. On behalf of the Wild Card Mar, Detroit man, the man with the Grand Master Plan, we out of here. And until next time, enjoy your wonderful day. And thank you for always showing us love and support here at I Often Wonder.
Peace.
Deuces.